You can depend on me. One. Yes, you can. Yeah. You can depend on me.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the very first episode of Talk with Talia. My name is Natalia Clark, your favorite budding media personality. I am a final year journalism student at Northern Caribbean University, and this vlog is being done as a course requirement for web based journalism. Today, we'll be looking at the positive and negative effects of social media on journalism. Stay tuned.
You can depend on me. One. Yes, you can. Yeah. You can depend
Awesome.
on me.
Now, before we jump into the effects of social media on journalism, let's ensure we're all on the same page. What is journalism? Journalism is essentially the gathering, organizing, and distribution of news to include feature stories and commentary. It has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. On the other hand, what is social media? Social media refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. This would then include Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, when social media was first introduced to the world in 1997, everything changed. Since then, up until now, everything has consistently, gradually been changing. However, in the past 5 years alone, social media has become a dominant and growing source of news and information for hundreds of millions of people around the globe. So, social media is fast, it's free, and it's always with you in your pocket courtesy of your smartphone and smart devices. Essentially, it's everywhere and nowhere at once. But social media hasn't just changed the way in which we consume news, it has also changed the way in which news is created for your consumption. Unfortunately or fortunately, social media is now essential for effective journalism in 2022. Notwithstanding that, there are both positive and negative effects of this change. I'll go ahead and start with the negatives. Right off the bat, fake news. Whenever the effects of social media on journalism are mentioned, fake news always happens to rear its ugly head as the leading concern. The owner of LA Times, Mr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, had described social media as the cancer of our time and said people cannot differentiate between fake news and real news. This is unfortunately the reality. For every accurate story that is published, there are 10 variations that are either blatant lies, a play on the facts, or an interesting mix of both. From YouTube commentaries to blogs to vlogs to Twitter stan accounts, everyone now adds their little 2 cents to every story without fact checking and ensuring that the information is accurate. At this point, fake news, social media, and journalism have they've been intertwined with one another, and this has been the case for years. The longer they're present within one another, though, the more drastic the impact takes on journalism. Every day, every story that is published, there is someone in the comment section asking, oh, how do we know this is true? What is false and what is the truth? How do they know who to trust? Unfortunately, this cannot be avoided. People rely heavily on their social platforms for their news because it's very convenient to do so. Subsequently, this takes away from journalism because the sites that are being visited the most do not possess the most accurate and reliable information. Another negative effect that social media has on journalism, it has placed a dent in the level of investigative work being done by journalists across the globe. Many journalists have been killed or otherwise assaulted because of their work. Social media and the internet have made it possible to find anyone with little to no effort. Thus, more and more of us are sticking to safer stories. But This should not be the case because when we stick to safer stories, this works in favor of the government and other organizations that don't want us, the watchdogs, to dig through their business and publish it to then hold them accountable. Now, a study done in the US found that about 4 in every 10 journalists have been harassed by someone outside of their physical workspace, often through social media. On the other hand, social media provides journalists with a fast, reliable way to collect, compare, and distribute new information. Years ago, you would not be aware of what happened in Kingston yesterday if you did not read today's printed paper, or if your cousin didn't call you and say, "Hey, did you hear that Mass Joe's cousin stabbed him in his sleep over dispute over a land?" That wasn't possible. No, as soon as that happened, a neighbor comes over, a neighbor puts something on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and automatically that reaches hundreds of thousands of people. The news gets to you in real time. We are now able to get information and reaction in real time. Also, journalists can then publish information as soon as it is available without actually waiting for the full story or waiting for all the events to unfold. As soon as it happens, we are able to get that information. For example, a trial. There's a trial, and the audience is able to know what is happening as soon as it happens without actually being there, courtesy of social media. Of course, once a trial is done, a journalist will go ahead and write a complete story on everything that happened. But while it is going on, the audience is staying up to date. So social media has allowed the journalists to garner trust in their audience as well. So we do this by being consistent, quick, reliable, and accurate. Accuracy is very important to journalism. Essentially, social media makes it easier to build a reputation. The standard newspaper byline now includes other elements like a Facebook or Twitter profile link, where journalists can then interact with their readers, share their unfiltered thoughts, and amass a following that can then travel with them from one job to the next. These readers, this audience knows that this person is reliable, they fact check, and everything they publish is accurate. The downside to this, though, is that moving fast means that people are more prone to making mistakes or worse, careless reporting. Another benefit of social media for journalism: social media allows publications to expand their reach. These days, everyone is on social media. The mother, the father, the sister, the cousin, even the dogs and the cats have an Instagram or Twitter account. Everyone is on social media. This means that the number of consumers that you could possibly reach with your story is limitless. Given this wide net of potential readers, journalists and publications have the opportunity to then reach thousands, if not millions, more readers by simply sharing their content on social media. Social media also opens the door for more diverse conversations. As mentioned, everyone and their mother is active on at least one social media platform. This means that these digital environments are populated by diverse groups who then enrich the online space with their unique perspectives. These include a mix of persons from different age groups, different culture, different beliefs, different religions. And then, as a journalist, media practitioner, you are able to highlight untold stories, untold perspectives, bringing something fresh to the surface. Social media for journalists goes beyond news consumption to news production, essentially. It is a critical part of the journalism process in 2022 to reach a large audience, gather insight, interact with viewers, and share breaking news faster than ever. All in all, journalism is forever changed for better or for worse. Social media is going nowhere, and journalists, as media practitioners, as media personalities, we must all learn to use it to the best of our advantage and make a difference. For persons who are not professionally trained to be in the media industry, you are also able to use social media to share information. But be mindful that information you share is accurate and is beneficial to the wider public. Now, that is the end of the first episode of Talk with Talia. Thank you for staying with me, and leave in the comment section some other effects of social media on journalism that you have noticed, whether that is positive or negative. I would love to hear from you. Join me next week as we take on another interesting topic. See you then. Bye.
Can depend on me. One. Yes, you can. Yeah. You can depend on me.